All right, I think we can get started. Others can join us along the way. Welcome once again, everyone. Really excited to have you here for the Apptalic AI series. Today, we're talking about AI agents and how to build AI agents, what AI agents are. I will take a look at a whole lot regarding AI agents, and of course, take questions that you may have regarding agentic AI. We're going to be having two speakers, myself, Trust, and Sophia. Sophia will introduce herself in a short while. I'm Trust, and I've been in the AI space as back as 2018, basically with conversational AI, and returned back about 4 years ago in developer relations for AI tools, and heavily now into AI. I'm really happy to speak about agentic AI and how that can help us automate and streamline daily tasks and workflows. And with me here is Sophia. Yeah, Sophia will give a quick intro, then we can get started.
All right, I'm Sophia Ribu, and I am a software developer who is really interested in AI. My main focus or my main language is Python, and I have a knowledge or two around cloud and Azure. And I'm really excited to come here and talk to everyone about AI agents because for the past couple of months, I've been building that, and this is an awesome opportunity for me to share what I've learned so far. So I'll be passing the mic back to Trust to start the webinar.
Thank you very much, Sophia. So we're going to be looking at basically about 5 different key points. Of course, what are AI agents, examples of AI agents, and how to build agents via the no-code way, and how to build agents via the code way, which is where Sophia comes in, and AI agents that you can build, and basically how to get started. And then we'll take a summary and Q&As. We have questions about what we've discussed, any other question generally regarding AI and AI agents. So let's get started. So the basic question obviously is, what are AI agents? And the quick answer is that AI agents are systems designed to function with autonomy. Now, that's quite a big, heavy sentence with lots of big grammars in there. But what does it mean exactly? So what it means is that AI agents operate or they work alone without any further assistance or any other manual human supervision. So the key word here is independently. So they can perform tasks, they can do work, they can do basically what you tell them to do on their own without anybody coming to check on what they're doing or anybody coming to update or simply change the rules as the case may be. We understand what this means clearly when we'll go into what AI automation is and how it is different from AI agents. But a very simple understanding, AI agents are systems that can work on their own, perform tasks, do a whole lot of decisions without any human coming to supervise or having any human assistance in whatsoever way. Now, for AI agents to function, there are basically 3 components that make up an AI agent. This panel diagram is a flow from N8N, which is a tool for building AI agents. Now, AI agents are made up of 3 different components. One is a brain, second is a memory, and third is a tool. Now, as you can see, for AI agents in N8N and any agent at all, the brain is what, or the brain is what the model, the chat model, which is the LLM. The machine learning models, OpenAI, the Gemini, the cloud, and so many other tools, LLMs, are what make up the brain for AI agents. They're the reason why agents can reason, can make decisions based on reasoning. So a brain is required for agents to work. That is where you have LLMs coming into the picture to be the brain for AI agents. Second is memory. So as agents are reasoning and making decisions, they have to remember what they decided previously. There has to be a memory where the decision are being stored. So memory is important. Database, memory, that's what this means basically for agents. Lastly is a tool. So tool basically is, okay, I have the brain, I can reason, I can remember what I've reasoned. Now I need to do work with a tool. We'll see what this tool means in the case study example we're going to give when we're trying to differentiate between agents and automation. So in summary, agents are made up of three components to make them be able to operate independently. The brain, which is where the LLMs come into the picture, memory to remember decisions, and a tool to act upon those decisions that the agents have been able to decide. An example of AI agent, this is where I think it'll be a little bit interesting to understand what this means. And we're going to go to the AI agent store. If you are seeing the agent store, please give me a thumbs up just to make sure you're seeing the screen. If you're seeing okay, correct. Thank you, Sophia. All right, so AI Agent Store is like a marketplace where you're going to see a whole lot of already built AI agents. So for example, this particular list is showing programming agents, agents that can perform developer tasks. For example, the Maximus AI, the description here says, is a tool or agent that generates high quality code automatically without requiring manual coding. So basically means that you tell it what to build and it generates the code for you based on your query, based on what you're looking at for. If we scroll down to looking for sales AI agents, for example, we're going to see other different agents. For example, the sales machine agents. So what this does is a sales agent that qualifies leads, answers queries, schedule meetings, and generates code 24/7. So this is doing all of this independently without human assistance. It takes probably a user feed form, data from user form, and then decides who qualifies. That's where the brain comes in. Decide who qualifies based on the data submitted, answers queries, schedule meetings with his clients, and generates a quote to them based on the meetings that he has had. So it's a complete sales rep, if you can call it that. So this is an example of what AI agents can do, looking at the combination of the brain, the memory, and of course, the tool being given to it. Another example, let's look for something, marketing. Let's see what marketing has here, marketing agents. So we have the customer finder bot, which is the agent. So it's a tool that generates that automates lead generation by scanning social media platforms and identify potential clients seeking products or services. So an agent that basically scans social media platforms and selects customers who need the services. So agentic AI agents can be applied in different areas or forms, as we can see here on this. You can, in your own time, go through agentic AI agents store.ai to look at other examples of AI agents. Now, another example too, if you're looking at the N8 platform, we're seeing AI agents with chat interface. We'll look at this later. We'll also go to N8N as a tool, looking at different agents and what they can do on here. Let's get back to our slide. These are examples of AI agents to bring into practical perspective how the memory, the brain, and the tool can help in this case. Now, difference between agents and automated workflows. So we may see it a lot. I think personally, I've seen a lot of ads on Instagram and of course Twitter about automations. AI automation, AI workflows, are they the same with AI agents? The answer is no. And the question is why, how are they different, or if there's a difference at all? We look at the difference using two diagrams. The first diagram is an AI automation, AI workflow, we can call it that, via N8N. Now, if you take a look at what's happening here, this basically is a sample of automation. So we are automating tasks without the agents. As you can see here, there is no memory, there is no brain, there is no tool, is just automating the workflow. From where you have the on-form submission here, someone completes a form and tells on the form the budget he or she has. Now, the switch is if and else. So workflows are rule-based, saying if on the form someone submits a budget higher than $10 to $400, send them an email based on their budget. If on the form they submitted higher, say $400 to $1,000, send them a different email based on their budget. And else, if it's over $1,000, send them this email. A simple workflow. There's no agent here, there's no reasoning, there's no memory, it's just a workflow. So AI automation or workflows are rule-based automation of manual tasks. So we're taking manual tasks into automated tasks, which is what AI automation and workflows are about. Now, in contrast, we have AI agents. The AI agent, as you can see, is a lot different because there's a memory, right? There's a brain, and there is a tool as an agent. So what this agent does is, this is a lead qualifying agent. So it takes data, as you can see, the first trigger is on-form submission. So it takes data that the client, a potential prospect or lead has submitted. Now it searches on the internet. It scrapes, so on the form, the client puts in their website and their LinkedIn profile. So now this agent will now scrape the data from the websites and LinkedIn profile, and then based on the data around the company, now decides if this client fits the use case of the business. Now you can see this passing the data from the HTTP requests into the agent. It is now reasons, okay, based on the data from your websites, a LinkedIn profile, are you a fit to be qualified as our client? Now it takes the memory, which is brain reasoning, and then pass it to the tool. So right now there's no memory because we didn't assign memory here. But if you want to build it as a better agent, you have to put the memory to store the previous leads that have been qualified. Now it sends an email to both the clients and the agency on the decision he has made if this person qualifies to be a lead. So the difference here is that unlike the previous workflow, this has no rule if and else statements. Because if we go back to our automated task, if a user now submits something entirely different outside the 3 different conditions we've set here, it will fail, it will break, nothing happens. But in the agent, it can reason based on different data that's being submitted to make a decision. That's the difference between automation and AI agents. Difference is that automation basically is rule-based. If this happens, do this, else do this. Why agents, of course, like we said, as a memory, as a brain, and as a tool, is thinking decisions on its own without any human assistance. Now, how do we build agents? There are 2 ways we can build agents. We have the code side, and we have the no-code side. So you can choose to build agents by writing programming codes. You can choose to write codes. Now, let's take a look at building agents with no code, which is where these tools come in. There are quite a number of tools that can help you do this. But for the case of this conversation, we're going to look at just a few of them on the screen as we've seen. N8 is popular. We've just seen a sample with the workflows and the automated differences between automation and AI agents. Relevance AI 2 is also a no-code platform. It's actually both ways. You can actually build agent without code, but if you want to add code, it's up to you. But overall, they can build without code nonetheless. Voice Flow is for voice agents. So you can build agents via voice. Zapier is popular basically for workflows, right? Not really agents, but workflows are basically best for Zapier. And Make is an alternative to N8 where you can build these workflows. So we're going to go over this, about 3 of them together just to understand what they offer. So as we've seen, this is the N8N platform, and it has this, as you can see, flexible AI workflows, automation. So you can build automation with NAX, and of course, you can also build agents. So we're going to move into building AI agent parts. Yeah, so AI agents. So there are different agents that you can look at, multi-systems. You can no code, basically like a building block. You can drag and drop into what you want to build. And it has a whole lot of connections. You can look at AI agent that scraps websites, chatbots. There's a whole lot that can be built with N8N. Now, the other is looking at relevance. This is relevance AI. So in here, you can also build agents, no code way as well. There are different use cases and different people already using relevance as well. But different agents you can build here, tools, workflows as well. And also you can, if you want to, like I mentioned, if you want to add a code, SDK is also available in case you want to add codes into it as well. So this is what Relevance AI can offer. You can see a different use cases, multi-agent systems, scalable, and what we call MCP is a bit advanced, but you can also add that here as well. And lastly, we have voice flow. So this is basically for voice agents. So you can actually build, probably say, a customer support agent that can call customers and talk to them, make a decision based on the call. So you can actually do that with voice flow. Agents that can talk, type, and help customers like humans. And that's what voice flow can help you achieve, all with no code. And again, if you want to, add code, you can, but primarily you can do all the things you need to do without code as well. So these are some examples of where you can build or how you can build agents using platforms you can use. Make2 is also there, and Zapier as mentioned as well. So you can decide to stick to one tool. You can decide to have multiple tools you can use, but they all have similar workflows, just different UI, but the same way to build agents, heavy agents, and automate anything you can automate going forward. So this, in summary, we've known about what agents are, difference between agents and automation, and we've also seen how we can build agents with no code. If any questions you have about this particular section, please type it in the chat box. And the next would be how to build AI agents with code and the tools you can use. So at this point, as Sophia will come to explain the code parts of AI agents. Sophia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. And Trust, thank you very much for going over the no-code solution when it comes to building AI agents. So, because I noticed that most people think that for you to build an AI agent, you only have to know how to code, but they are assuming but you can also build AI agents with no code tools like Trust just showed you. All right, so let me talk about building AI agents with code tools like using Python. But before I talk about that, at the beginning of the webinar, Trust said something about LLM, and I would love to give you more I would love to explain more about LLM. So for people that don't know what an LLM is an abbreviation for large language model. So this is an AI model that you can talk to. Now, I'm very sure that a lot of us have used ChatGPT either to ask a question or to make a research or to do one thing or the other. Now, ChatGPT is the interface that lets you talk to the LLM, which is which is the GPT model. Of course, every LLM has different variants. They have GPT-4o, GPT-4, we have Claude 3.5, and the rest. So I just wanted to touch a bit more on that before I start my own session. Right, so I will be sharing my screen in a minute. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Now let's talk about building AI agents with code solution. Of course, you build AI agents using any type of programming language, but my main programming language or my go-to is Python. So all the solutions I will be talking about would involve um writing in Python. Of course, you can use these same tools in JavaScript or in Rust or any other programming languages. Okay, so when you are building AI agents, the code way, there are so many tools that you can explore. And one of the tools that I've recently been using to build for some time is what we call the Crew AI. So Crew AI, okay, can everyone still see my screen?
Yes, correct.
All right. So Crew AI lets you build an AI agent, and it lets you also make use of some other tools as well. So every link or every tool that we mention in this webinar would be shared much later, either via email, or I would have a list to add them on this Zoom call chat. But let's talk about the two. So one of the major tools that I've been able to use over and over is Crew AI. So Crew AI is a platform that lets you build a multi-agent platform. And what is a multi-agent platform? So a multi-agent platform is a platform where you have two or more AI agents that talk to each other and perform a task. Now, the whole reason for you using AI agents is for you to automate some things, as Trust has said earlier, for you to automate some things or for you to get some tasks done. And Crew AI lets you build a multi-agent AI. And another tool, what's mentioning that is an alternate of using Crew AI is what we call LangChain. So LangChain also lets you build um either a single or a multi AI agent. Now, besides LangChain and Crew AI, there are definitely so many other tools. But when you are building an AI agent, you don't only need these tools. There are so many other tools that you need. And in this slide, I talked a bit more about Qdrant. Now, Qdrant is a vector database platform that's lets you store your data in vectors. Okay, so what are vectors? So vector is, or yes, vectors is when you get to save your text, like your text or your image file, you get to save them in a string of numbers. And vector database are mostly used for when you have to do something like a similarity search, or yes, when you need to do something like a similarity search in your platform. And beside Qdran, there are still some other vector databases like ChromaDB and so many other ones that I'm not well aware of. Now, another tool that you would definitely need in your code solution is OpenAI or Gemini or any other model. Now, AI agents in code solution would need an LLM to help your agents interact with one another. So they are like the powerhouse that lets your agents either retrieve an information or lets them just do a task or another. And you can also get some LLMs or API keys to some LLMs using Open Router. So now that I've talked about, let me share this full screen. So now that I've talked about some tools that you can use in your code solution, I would love to talk about two AI agents that I built recently. So I could not demo it because it would take time, and I really do not to take so much of your time. But here is a Crew AI agent in action. Now, what this agent does is that it's a multi-agent that takes a user mood and it analyzes that user mood. Like for example, if you're happy, you are sad, it analyzes that user's mood, and it uses the analysis of the user mood to query a vector database, which is a Qdra database, in this solution. So it uses that mood analysis to query it and get songs that are relating or similar to that your mood. So this is one of a Crew AI multi-agent platform that I have built. And if you want to find out more about how to build AI agents, you can go over to my YouTube channel. I just published a video a couple of days ago. Now, in LangChain, this was one of the very first AI agent solution that I created, and it was a project that lets me search for a particular stuff on Amazon, and it gets me a list of deals based on my budget. So in this case, I was looking for a Pixel device that I can get over $100, which is very, very hard to find. So what this agent did was that it queried the Amazon website, and it searched for Pixel devices that you can find within that range. Then when it found that it could not find that device, it also checked for other devices, like some other options that I may want to get, since I cannot get what I want for that budget. And when it did that, of course, the AI agent execution was like way bigger than this. I had to cut it short to just show you part of the execution. So after it searched the Amazon website and it's found out that it cannot get what I wanted, it gave me a final answer and a recommendation. And yeah, it said that unfortunately no Pixel phones were found under $100 on Amazon, and it went further by giving me a recommendation, telling me that consider increasing your budget to 150 or $200 to find older used Pixel phones, or I can look for alternative phones like older Motorola or any other budget Android phone. Um, yeah, so this is um how the AI agent worked. So in case you're asking yourself, why should I build an AI agent? Everybody is building an AI agent, so why don't I, use an AI agent that someone has already built? Besides the things that I mentioned here, number one reason why I feel like you should build an AI agent is to show off your skill. You can literally brag to your friends or to the internet that, hey, I built this AI agent and it works for me. And if you are not the bragging type, um, and another reason why I think that you should build an AI agent is because it saves time. Now, in the case of the Amazon Deal Finder, I don't have to go to Amazon and start scrolling through Amazon to look for deals on phones, when I can literally use my agents to look for a particular thing. And it's not just restricted to phone. I can look for any single thing that is being sold on Amazon, give it my maximum budget. It's um goes through the websites, looks for what I want. If it can't find that, it will give me a recommendation. So this saves me like so many hours of going through Amazon and looking for what I want. The third reason is it boosts my productivity. So in some cases where um I need an AI agent to, let's say, okay, since I am a YouTuber and I need to record a video, but I don't really have the time, or I don't know how to write a script. So how AI agents can help me by boosting my productivity is that I can feed it a video idea, or better still, I give it some topics that I want. It gives me a bunch of ideas and creates scripts based on those ideas. So that is another way it can boost my productivity. Another thing is that it's always ready to help. Now, AI agents, a lot of them, they work autonomously, which means they don't really need you to tell them to do this over and over again. They just do stuff, and they just execute the tasks that you instruct them. So in the case of the Amazon deal finder, instead of me to tell the AI agent to, okay, search for another phone, or search for another stuff, it had already given me recommendation that since I can't get this, this is another option I can get. Another thing is it automates annoying, boring things, which I'm still going to talk about the Amazon deal this thing, because it lets me it automates that part of my shopping, and I don't have to do that over and over again. Or in the case of the scripts writing, I don't have to um write scripts for my YouTube video from scratch. Instead, I can just edit the one that the AI gave me. And last but not the least, it's literally a superpower for everybody. Like it's makes your life, or your day-to-day super easy. Okay, so what can you build besides the things that I just talked about? You can literally build AI agents for anything. Like Trust said, AI agents or AI automation, they are here to automate big things in life. And if for example, one basic thing that you struggle with is having to plan your trips, you can build an agent that literally plans your trip, books whatever you want to book, and creates an itinerary for you. Or you can have a learning coach agent that answers a bunch of questions or quizzes, or like talks to you like a language tutor would. And another case is that for developers that struggle to read documentation, I know that a lot of us developers, we are sometimes lazy to read documentation. So we can have an AI agent that reads through the documentation and gives you the exact solution for a bug or for a particular feature from an SDK or package or tool that you're trying to integrate in your project. So AI agents can literally do anything and everything that you want it to do. And the best use case of building an AI agent is to think of a mundane thing that you do in your day-to-day. It could be how you read your emails and you need an agent to summarize your emails and delete spam um, emails. An agent can do that. So look for the most mundane thing that you want to automate in your day to day, and you can use that to build an agent out of it. So I hope I've been able to convince you that building AI agents is very fun and very interesting. Okay, so while I wrap this talk, I would also love to invite every single one of us about the I would love to invite each and every one of us to Apptalic Academy. And in Apptalic Lab, we are trying to educate the public on AI using code solution and no code solution. And we will be launching an academy around this. So I would love to give the mic back to Trust to give us more information about this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Sophie, for that fine intro to coding side of building AI agents. Yeah, so just to wrap it up, basically, to explain entirely what is happening at yeah, Apptalic Lab and then the Academy. So the reason why Sophie's comments around why an agent should be something of interest basically, lies in the fact that there are a lot of things coming up when it comes to the AI space. We had a section with an open AI team yesterday, I think, or the day before, I'm not sure, where we saw a lot of innovations coming out. There was even hints about launching GPT-6, which is in the pipeline. There's other things as well coming out, right? The agentic SDK OpenAI is going to launch it. It's already launched, but the refinements are ongoing, and they have huge support, for developers or businesses who are looking to use OpenAI use cases. And so there's a whole lot coming in, and we want everybody to be aware and also not be caught off guard on how to use these tools, hence the Apptalic Academy. We also, so at the lab, so there are two different things here, right? So at the lab, we actually do our very best to be like a solutions research lab. So we're trying to look at experiments. So we can think of Apptalic as an experimentation ground for AI. We're trying to build use cases, trying to launch products on AI. And then at the academy, we're doing our best to bring people to understand how to build AI and have automate use case as well. So we're launching in a few weeks, probably November, I think. So we're trying to build things in order, and so everybody can participate. You can go through this and of course join the wait lists. So moving forward on here, I think that Sophie has done justice to a lot of all of these things and how to use these tools, why it saves time and all of this, right? So, because you decide to sidekick, that was Sophie added this year. So thank you so much, everyone. Are there questions you have regarding this and the section of questions you have about AI generally? We're happy to take your questions at this moment. Thank you so much for coming. I would love to interact right now if there are any questions you have to ask. You can use the text, I think. Is there a question? Hold on. Okay, no. But let me see, there's a question there. Okay, yeah, Veronica has a question.
So yes, we have a question from Veronica. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a control of non-code agents similar to agents built with LangGraph or QI. For example, the control we have with grabs of flows in QI.
So she asked, is our control of no-code agent similar to agents built with LangGraph? Yeah. Did you ask question or should I?
Yeah, go ahead. We're breaking up, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I was reading the question, and so she asked them, for example, the control we have with graphs or flows in Crew AI. I have never tried the no code solution, and I've been playing around a lot with Crew AI. You introduce no code, you take this option.
Okay, so the answer to that question, right, basically it's control, right? So of course, with no code, you may not entirely have full control of certain things as you would have when you're building with code itself. But with N8N it's flexible because you can add your own Python script, your own, Node.js script. You can add your own script to amplify what it's doing. So I would say in terms of control, you have quite enough control with no code. But of course, full control comes from you controlling, with the Python code or whatever code you want to use, right? But I would say that I've not entirely used platforms like Voice Flow, just basically for customer support agents once I built. But because Relevance has an SDK for Python, that shows that you can also amplify it, and it also has its own API as well. So if you want full control, they can use the developer side of things. But using just no code tool alone, there are quite limitations, but they have quite many use cases. So you may or may not entirely want to have control fully, if that answers the question, Veronica. Okay, Beulah says, can this work with apps, like trading with apps? How does that go? Yeah, so when you mean apps, you mean mobile apps, correct? Right. So like I mentioned earlier, there are quite apps that have a fully powered backend with some no code tools. For example, I know of a particular app that uses N8N as its core backend. So because N8N offers an API with what you've done on N8N, you can easily extract it and connect whatever app you want to connect to user interface. So the answer is yes. You can integrate with apps if you want to, and it works with either the SDK of relevance or you have the API with N8N. Does that answer your question, Beulah?
Yes, thank you.
All right, awesome. That's fine. Okay, I'm guessing there are no more questions. All right, that's fine. So as mentioned, we're always experimenting. We're trying to, find new use cases. We write a lot of use cases on the Apptalic blog. And of course, we'll be holding more webinars and workshops just to, share our learnings and see how that goes going forward. So thank you so much, everyone. Sophia, do you have any last words?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. So in that case, I'd like to thank everyone for joining once again. It's been a good session. Hope to see you next time. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, everyone on the